this make me look fat? You know, I'm kind of feeling the vibe here that I put on a little extra weight. So in your area, I'm sure you're noticing the weather's changing. Maybe if you're like me and you got plenty of broadleaf trees, you know, leaves are starting to fall. The temperature at night is hitting around the 50 or lower, and during the day it's still about 80 or 90 degrees, right? So we're in this weird spot in our calendar, right, where you can either be really, really cold at night, and you could be like toasty warm during the day. So when we go out camping, backpacking, hunting, and right now squirrel season just started here in Ohio, September 1st. So when you're out hunting and you're trying to figure out, what do I take? You know, that can be kind of confusing. It can be kind of difficult. You definitely don't want to take a bunch of extra weight, right? So there's a secret the old timers knew, and that I think a lot of us who are experienced still promote today, and that is layering. You know, layering is going to be your best friend. But even layering, you can kind of figure out, man, you know, how many layers do I need to take? What layers do I need to take? What's the weight, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right, so here's my guide for what to take and when. So you got to figure out for you what that's going to be, because you know, if you have low blood pressure or high blood pressure, you know, there's special circumstances in there. You got to take your health in consideration and your needs. But this is kind of like my rough starting point for me, and hopefully that kind of helps you. First of all, I got to get out of this. Like this Woolrich Mackinac is cooking me alive in here. Okay, so I wear the Woolrich Mackinac, or a heavy duty coat, when it's about 40 degrees, and it's going to be consistently 40 degrees. If it's 40 degrees or lower, then I'm wearing a coat, and I might even throw on an overcoat on top of this, depending on how cold it's going to be. This does a great job, but you know, it's heavy. It is super heavy, right? And to an extent, it actually limits your mobility a little bit. So that's not very good for hunting. That's not going to be very good for hiking or trail running, if that's your thing, right? So the wool Mackinac, about 40 degrees and lower, consistently. That means it's going to stay 40 degrees. Okay, got to move my little microphone here. Underneath my Mackinac, you're going to see other layers, right? So on top of this, or underneath this, I've got my Woolrich vest. Whew, that feels a lot better. All right, so I got my Woolrich vest here. Now the Woolrich vest, or any vest for that matter, is that nice middle ground where you just need that extra little bit of oomph to warm your core. So generally speaking, I've used my Woolrich vest when it's about 50 degrees or warmer, right? If it gets below 50 degrees, then I want some other extra layers. And especially if this is not going to be consistent temperature. If it's going to be 50 degrees, but then it's going to jump up to 80 or 90 or 70 or whatever, it's like the Woolrich vest is going to get dropped, right? So I don't need the Woolrich vest all the time, or any vest for that matter. That's just the example of the Woolrich that I have on currently. Underneath that, I have Nathaniel Logsdon's Overshirt. Now I call this an overshirt. I don't know if he calls it an overshirt, but I'm going to explain why I consider this an overshirt or a hunting shirt. I know he calls it a hunting shirt. So hunting shirts or overshirts were really popular for a long time in reality. Like there's in the 1700s during the American Revolution, people were wearing overshirts to war, right? So the overshirt is going to be that piece of workwear, all right, that you're going to throw over your regular clothing to be that extra layer of defense. Maybe it's against brush and briars because, canvas overshirts certainly existed. But for us and our sake, we're talking about temperature control, right? So Nathaniel Logsdon's overshirt, when I ordered a size 46 or an extra large, because that's what I wear in everything. Well, Nathaniel sent it to me, and it was a little tight in the arms, and that's not very good for a work shirt or a hunting shirt. So I say, hey man, this isn't working for me. Can you send me a 2X? And he did. He sent me a 2X. Now I didn't buy this. He actually sent this to me to review and give you guys my opinions about it. And I thought that would be a great opportunity to give you, my perspective of me using it, how comfortable it is, some of the pros and cons and things, but also to discuss overshirts and layers in general. Pick yourself up one, Nathaniel. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to review it. I'm certainly going to wear this at squirrel camp, and I will give you guys more of a review this winter to follow up, so I can give you more in depth of how I'm using it and how well it holds up and if there's any issues. It's kind of like What Price Glory's items. I use a lot of What Price Glory equipment. Never had any issue, except for the socks. Everything else, I've never had anything fail. And I'm going to put this to the test just as much as I do What Price Glory items and let you know the durability of it all. All right, now going back to the whole layers thing. So once you get to camp, maybe, you know, this isn't what you need. You got a vest, so this is a shirt that I have against my skin, and then I throw on this vest on top of it to really take the edge off. This is going to keep my core warm, but it's not really going to keep my arms warm, but I can still move in a very functional way, right? So that's the nice thing about the vest, okay? And then later on, you can either add this on top of your vest, or you can add this instead of the vest, or you can put the vest on top of this. That's the whole thing about the layering system. And fall is that really strange time in our calendar where we have to try to think ahead and what are we going to wear and how are we going to wear it. You're going to get on your weather app or whatever that is to figure out what the temperature is, and you're going to try to make the best decisions possible because you don't want to carry any more than what you absolutely have to. Whether you're backpacking, whether you're hunting. Now if you're car camping, shoot, I mean, you can take the kitchen sink if you really wanted to. I don't suggest doing that. I think it's good to get in the discipline of trying to plan a little bit ahead and figuring out what you really need and what you don't need. And then you also figure out how to adapt when you didn't bring something with you. I think that's an important skill as well. So there you go. That's Nathaniel Logsdon's hunting shirt. It's really nice. I would buy one, okay? In fact, I'm probably going to buy one for my kid while there's still one in stock. He's 6'4". He's like 4 inches taller than me, and he's built like a beanpole. And I think having something like this would be really nice for his kit. So again, Nathaniel, thank you. Logsdon & Co. Check out his channel as well, Early 20th Century Adventures, and Facebook, Amalgamated Order of Motor Campers. It's a fantastic group. Speaking about groups, I'd like to invite you onto our Traditional Camp Crafters Guild, where we have challenges, we have great people, we have tons of resources. If you're really wanting a deep dive and learn from others and us learn from you and your traditional camp crafting skills, then this is a fantastic group to get on. We have challenges like right now. The challenge for this month is to make something, sew something for your kit, whether that's a poke sack, whether it's a bag for your silverware or whatever. Maybe you're building a pack like Chase did, who's now at Rabbit Stick as I'm filming this. Like he literally sewed his own Trapper Nelson pack. It's pretty cool. So jump on there at www.honorableoutfitters.com/join the guild. Can't wait to see you on there. You can try it out for 5 free days. And we also have lots of exclusive things on there as well. And if you'd like to see, more videos about the vintage camp crafting stuff, the clothing specifically, then you want to check out my clothing playlist here. Give a kiss and a hug to your loved ones. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.